Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the stage Chris Clark, President and CEO, Georgia Chamber.
Well, good morning. It's a Chamber of Commerce event. We're at Coca-Cola. Try it again. Morning. Much better. So happy to have all of you guys with us today. Thank you for being at the first ever Georgia Future of Sustainability Summit hosted here by the Chamber with our friends at Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, thank you for sharing such an incredible facility with us today. Y'all, a round of applause for our friends at Coke. You know, I usually wait and do this at the end, but I want to just thank the incredible team at the Georgia Chamber who does the policy, the advocacy, and puts on incredible events like this that allow you to network and convene. Can you just thank our team at the Chamber? Thanks, guys. I also want to thank our friend Kevin Perry. Kevin is the Executive Director, CEO of the Georgia Beverage Association and the Chair of the Georgia Governmental Affairs Council, which is our main advocacy group. Kevin, thank you for all that you do every day, both here at Coke, for all of your members, and for the business community in Georgia. Thank you so much. You know, this event has been a long time coming. Our Energy and Environment Committee, which is led by Doug Mile, and our chairman of that committee, Brian Batson, with Southern Gas. Brian, where you at? Thank you, Brian, for your leadership. This is something you guys asked us to do, and we started to work on it, and then everybody got sick. I believe that was around 2020. So we kind of pushed it, and then there was an election cycle and something else. And so finally today, we're happy to have this event and give you the opportunity to network, come together, learn from each other. But before we get into the program today, I do want to recognize our sponsors, and we've got so many of them this morning. I want to thank them for helping us. Our lead sponsor this morning and the sustainability partner of the Georgia Chamber is Woodard & Curran. Thank you guys for the partnership that we have with y'all. It means the world. And you're going to be hearing more from them a little bit later today. The official car partner of the Georgia Chamber, Kia, who will soon be rolling off their first electric vehicle made in West Point, Georgia. So we're pretty excited about that. For our small business members, Anthem is our partner with our Smart Insurance Plan, our studio partnership. Thank you with our friends at Anthem. Our platinum sponsors today, the Coca-Cola Company, Gas South, Georgia Power, NextEra Energy, and I do want a special thanks to both Gas South and NextEra who really helped us put the juice behind this event to help plan it and get it moving. So thank you guys for that. Our digital media sponsors is a company called Consensus. Now, hopefully you saw this, but tomorrow at the Georgia Freight Depot, we're having a follow-up. And so you're welcome to join us. You can talk to our team today. You can still register for that. We've got more panels, more in-depth discussion. And so join our friends at Consensus tomorrow over at the Freight Depot. Our breakfast sponsor this morning, hopefully you got some breakfast, our friends at Toyo Tires. Our wellness sponsor, Ryan, who's got their booth set up right outside the door here. Our lunch and reception sponsor, makes sense, Coca-Cola Company. And by the way, if you don't have enough Coca-Cola products during the break, there's a store downstairs. I'll be hitting it. Everything you'd ever want. Our gold sponsors, our friends at Chick-fil-A, Comcast, NBC Universal, ERM, Lee Container, Norfolk Southern, and Procure Analytics. I also want you to thank our refreshment sponsors, and you can guess what they're sponsoring today. You'll get plenty of Coke products. Our silver sponsors, thank all of you guys for being with us today, as well as our community sponsors. So a round of applause for all of our sponsors to make this event possible. Most importantly now, please take a picture for the Wi-Fi and the password. I'll get out of the way so you can do that. Everybody got it? Now, the reason that you've done that is because we want you also not just to be part of a conversation in here today, but part of the conversation worldwide. So please use the hashtag GCCFOS, Georgia Chamber of Commerce Future of Sustainability, as you tag and talk about. This is a conversation, important conversations today, and we want that to continue out. So please do your part for social media today. I know Elon Musk is really suffering. So help him or any of the other platforms that you so choose to use. Now, how many of you have been to a Georgia Chamber event before? Well, a lot of you got more work to do, so we got plenty more. But normally at this point of a Georgia Chamber event, I stand up here and I have a PowerPoint deck of about 400 slides and 500 data points, and we walk you through why we're here today. I got good news and bad news. Good news is I do not have a PowerPoint deck for you today, so you can celebrate that. Thanks. Bad news for you is I do have remarks, and so I'm going to preach a few minutes today to set this up. This is an important conversation. The work that you're doing in sustainability is important. It deserves this focus. It deserves us having a continual conversation. But quite frankly, for me and for a lot of us, this is a personal conversation too. This matters. What you're doing matters. I grew up in South Georgia, exploring the longleaf pine ecosystem, fishing and canoeing and paddling through all of our swamps and streams and tributaries. And in doing all of that, one of the things that I took away as a child was that if we're going to enjoy the outdoors, if we're going to be part of creation, then we have to care for it as well. And that's part of what you're doing every single day. Now, I want to give you a word. Now, in my journal, I keep a list of words that I run across that we don't use a lot anymore. And maybe that's because I'm getting older, but there's some important words out there that we ought to be using. For example, when's the last time you used the word noble? No, but that's a good word, and I feel like we should use it. Here's another one I like, dungarees. I find my son and his friends all wear Carhartt all the time, and I said, oh, you got some dungarees on. He goes, what are you talking about, Dad? Right? I like the word groovy. Again, I think it tells my age. I just feel like that's a word that somebody likes groovy. How about this word? I've been trying to use this one lately, chork. Does anybody know chork? That is the sound that your boots make when you walk through a stream or a river. That's for the fly fishermen in the room. It's a chork. Some of those words may be not important, but here's the word I've been focusing on a lot more lately, and that's the term stewardship. And that's an ageless term. I think it has a lot of power. Years ago, before I was chamber president, I was sworn in as the commissioner of the Department of Natural Resources in Georgia. And I remember at my swearing in, I was told by the governor, he said that you are now a steward of the special places and the creatures of the state of Georgia. And he paused and he said, but you're also a steward of the economy. And so during my time there and my time here at the chamber, we've tried to balance those needs. So at DNR, we were able to help commercial fishermen and shrimpers and at the same time tackle saltwater intrusion. Right? We were able to preserve and conserve an incredible amount of land, but then allow film companies to come on and film movies there and then highlight that beauty to the rest of the world. We were able to work with manufacturing plants that wanted to expand, but we were able to go in with them and protect the wetlands on their footprint and open it up for people to use. We worked every day as good stewards, just like you're trying to do. And for over 100 and something years here in Georgia, it's been the corporate community and the farm community that have led the efforts on conservation. The businesses in this room have helped conserve literally millions of acres in Georgia. Companies in this room have helped preserve waterways all over the state. Working with our friends at the Nature Conservancy, the Georgia Chamber, meeting in this room, we were able to pass the first land conservation amendment in the state's history to preserve more land. Many of you in this room worked with us. Gosh, Doug, it's been 15 years ago almost when we passed the leading water conservation legislation in the country. That was the business community leading. And many of you helped us when we worked to keep the gopher tortoise off the endangered species list just a few years ago. You've all been great stewards. You've led on recycling, sustainability practice, reuse, reinvestment. And here's what I love about this in Georgia. You're making those decisions as business leaders not because some outside entity told you to go do it or someone forced you to do it. You did it because it was the right thing to do and believe in caring for creation. You've been building off this legacy in Georgia of sustainability for a long time. I'll give you an example. Mr. Woodruff, who built this incredible empire where we are today, you know all about Coca-Cola. And if not, go downstairs to the store, you can buy stuff, you can learn more. What you probably maybe don't know, and you should know, is that this company's used those resources to build one of the literally best world-class ecological research centers at Itchaway. The longleaf pine conservation, saving the red-cockaded woodpecker, the gopher tortoise, all that, the work that Coca-Cola has done. It's an incredible, incredible legacy. Georgia Power and Southern Company has been protecting acres and lands in this state for as long as any of us can remember. About 25 years ago, I was a young economic developer in Hawkinsville, Georgia, and my board decided to build a new industrial park on farmland just outside of town. And the folks at Georgia Power came to me and said, yeah, we like that idea of an industrial park because you sell some more energy. That's a good thing. But you have to balance that out. And that company worked with me and others to take an old gas station on the river, turn it into a park, take some vacant land, turn it into a campsite. Guys, that's stewardship. That's what companies in here are doing every single day. And here's the outcome of that. Because Georgia has been a leader of showing that you can grow the economy and do good by the environment, we've positioned ourselves to really be a global world leader. You've made the business case over the last 100 years of why a lot of companies are here now. Where are my friends at Textron? Anybody? Where's my Textron table? I know they were here somewhere. Oh, way over there. Guys, thank you. 50 years ago, they became actually the first EV company in Georgia, right? When you started building electric golf carts. Right? Our friends at Bluebird were one of the leaders in alternative fuels in our state. You have companies like Southwire, Green Power EMC, Caterpillar, have all invested in this space. And now because of their work, we have companies like Rivian, SK Battery, Hyundai, Freyr, Q-Cells, all in that energy space. That's why we're the buckle of the battery belt now and continue to have more of those companies here. We have outdoor recreation companies like Crescent Kayaks. Woodard and Curran have been helping their customers for the last 45 years leave the world a better place. And now companies like Norfolk Southern, Toyo Tire, Chick-fil-A, Cox, Gas South, MEAG, Liberty Utilities, the list goes on and on and on, are all making these investments and making Georgia a cleaner, more vibrant state. I could go on and on. But we're here today to continue that conversation, to encourage you to continue the work that you've been doing, to be better stewards. And let me be very clear, I said it a moment ago, but I want to double down on this in the environment that we're in. We host this event today not because some group of politicians in Europe or Washington told us to do it. We're not doing this today because of some activists, investors, or stakeholders are pushing it. We're doing it because sustainability, stewardship, conservation, these are goals that you've adopted in your business because it makes a good ROI for you, but also because it aligns with your values and because it's the right thing to do. Now, at our chamber, we focus, and those of you that know us, we focus on three kind of big pillars. One is infrastructure of the future, one is competitiveness, and one is workforce. And when we talk about sustainability, naturally we think about infrastructure, we think about competitiveness, but there's another benefit to the work you're doing, and I want to encourage you to think about this a little more as we go through today. There's a workforce development component in what you're doing. And it is a valuable one not to be overlooked. We want Georgia to be a place, I need to add, I'll give you the number to keep you up tonight, I need to add 400,000 workers in Georgia in the next 10 years, just to keep pace. And we're competing with those workers from all over the world. And when we talk to Gen Z and soon to be Gen Alpha, for those of you keeping up with this fun stuff, they want to work for companies that care, that have a purpose. The work that you do in sustainability illustrates that every day. But they also want to go to a community where they can live, work, play, and pray. Right? They want their kids to grow up where they can explore outside, where they can hunt, fish, bike, hike. This is part of their DNA. And you're on the leading edge of making sure that Georgia is the front of mind, top of mind for those men and women when they're looking for places to move to. So think about the work that you do in sustainability, about crossing every single sector of the economy, every issue that we're dealing with today, because that's how I look at it in this very personal way. So we got a lot of important conversations to have today. At all of these events that we have, the biggest complaint I always have afterwards when we ask you how did we do has been we don't ever give you enough time to network. So I'm giving you time to network today. Break this morning, lunch, have breakfast. If you can't meet people and build your relationships and get some deals done today, that's on you. Don't be shy, don't be bashful. If you need to meet somebody, grab one of the incredible team at the Chamber and we'll plug you in, but you're all here for the same reason. Now, as you go through today, I also want you to think about this. Is this an event that we need to convene annually to bring together leaders to share and build this network? And if so, let me and my team know today. If you have ideas for better programs in the future, come and let us know today. This is the start. This is not the end of what we want to do here. And if you really care about this and you care about the policy around sustainability, conservation, and these other issues, I'd invite you to join the Environment and Energy Committee of the Georgia Chamber. You can see Doug or Brian or any of our team today to get you plugged in. Because at the end of the day, our job at the Chamber is to be a steward of your resources in this state and to grow the state in a responsible manner, and that's what we wake up every day to do. Got it? Okay, that's the end of my sermon.